And one of the important critical differentiations is to be conscious. We never have to worry about how the other person responds. We have to see a difference between that. That's not our worry. Our worry is how we respond to the other person's response. See? So in this case, we don't have to worry about no. We have to only be concerned about how we deal with the no, if it occurs. We don't have to worry about a person diagnosing us. You're too sensitive. Don't have to worry about that. We only have to worry about how we respond to that. If I give this person the power to tell me what I am, and I therefore think, oh my God, there's something wrong with me, I'm too sensitive. It's not the other person's response that creates my pain. It's how I dealt with that person's response. I heard what the person thought about me. And I think there's something wrong with me that this person said that about me. So I never have to worry about the other person's response. When I think that I do, if I go in, oh, what if the other person says, what if? I've just taken all of my power and given it to the other person. I'm saying my security and my power is in this person's hands.
Kind of like you give away your life force.
Yes. Yes.
Juice.
But it took me a while to learn this because I was educated in schools that taught me my whole life was dependent on how they judged me. My whole future was in how I get judged by people with titles.
I follow you on that one. But if the other person still keeps on with, no, I don't want to talk about it. I don't have any feelings on this, and I don't want to talk about this.
It's up to me now. How do I deal with that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I can guess what the need is behind that. Or I can hear that as a rejection. And depending on which of those I choose, it's going to affect how I feel and what I get out of this conversation. So the problem isn't that the other person just said, I don't want to talk about it, and walks out. The problem is, how do I deal with that?
It's almost as though in one way it's like a series of gates. Everything stops on each step. But the other way, it's like a river that just keeps finding its way through.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, that's one way to say that nonviolent communication is a process language. Life is a process. But what I call jackal language is a static language.
If the other person isn't willing to engage in that process at some point, you decide not to continue.
No, I don't hear that they're not willing.
Really?
No.
When do you decide to not talk to that person?
Well, that's another issue, but I don't hear that they're not willing. I hear what need keeps them from being willing. I hear the need behind the no. I hear the need behind the criticism. But I never hear no. I never hear I'm not willing. And I never hear any praise or compliments or criticism. None of them are true. Yeah.
I know it's totally true what you're saying, but how to break these patterns, like having had an upbringing with a lot of humiliation and put down and everything, it's always like, being a vacuum cleaner and always attracting it. And
the solution is easy. If you send me €1,000 a month, I'll pray for you.
That's pretty expensive.
Yes, this is quite really, it's quite a shift. It goes against how we have been systematically educated for thousands of years.
But how to get this shift in everyday life?
By finding something that's more fun and less costly.
Having you pray for me or us.
No, you will change it even though it's been gone if you receive something that's more life-serving and less costly. Yeah, it may take some practice, but you'll replace it when you can see that it better meets your needs.
For me, it's empathy. To give me self-empathy. I can better deal with no's. Well, that's what I want to practice.
What we really need to practice on is not with no or not with the problem with you it's with the nonverbal communication. Because research shows that 80% of what we resonate to are not the words, but the nonverbal. So the nonverbal tells us much more about what the person's needs are and their feelings than the words. So if we have giraffe ears, we don't get caught in the words. We try to sense what's alive in this person. What are they feeling, needing, and requesting? Okay, who's got another honesty for us?
Okay, I have one.
Who is this person?
Okay, it's my brother.
Okay.
He's an alcoholic and a drug addict.
Now translate those into giraffe. See, that's the verb to be. There are no drug addicts or alcoholics in giraffe land.
He's unpredictable.
Translate that into nonviolent communication. That's still telling me what you judge him as being. So translate that diagnosis into nonviolent communication.
He has reactions that I don't understand.
Okay. Now we're getting closer to giraffe, see?
Yes.
Okay.
And
He drinks how much a day?
I don't know.
See, if you say he drinks, a fifth of whiskey a day, that doesn't mean he's an alcoholic. This means he drinks a fifth of whiskey a day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what he does is he's a bit sadistic.
Batteries wear out on these giraffe ears.
So he talks about past events
Yeah.
that people don't remember.
Yeah.
And and when he talks, so what I would say to him is, when you talk about past events, I feel confused and sad and pained. And what I need is to understand what is alive in you right now and connect with you right now. Would you be willing to tell me how you feel right now?
I like that way of saying your honesty to the brother. I heard your feelings and needs and present requests. And I'm sure you predict that saying it that way, he would say, I'm very touched that you value this connection with me. And I would like nothing better than to be able to connect with you in that way.
I wish.
But you want me to take the giraffe ears off? Okay. So now how do you think brother would respond to that without the giraffe ears?
He would just not even listen and continue talking about the past.
Well, but you see, this person did do it.
Right. And I would say, well, I feel confused because I don't remember what you're talking about, and I don't understand why you're talking about this, and I need to understand what's behind this now.
Well, you see, this person did so and so and so. Now, you're asking this poor wolf to do, or jackal to do something that's very, very hard, to live in the now. You see, in jackal land, it's all about the past, what you did, whether it was right or not. And then you worry about the future, because what's going to happen if I don't? So you don't live in the now. You live in self-blame about the past and worry about the future. That's how we've been educated. See? I went to schools. It was all about the future, what grade you're going to get. You know, that's all that mattered. It's all that mattered. It was just because, and not just as one 7-year-old said to his mother, she in a workshop, she wanted to know, Marshall, how do I deal with my 7-year-old? Each morning he says, I don't want to go to school, I don't want. So I taught her to do what we talked about a few moments ago. Hear what his present need is being expressed behind I don't want. She came the next day to the workshop. She was so touched when she had her giraffe ears on and heard the need behind the no. She said, oh, Marshall, thank you for that. I had such a good conversation with him this morning when he started to say, I don't want to go to school, and I started in again, but you have to because that. And I tried to hear the need. And I didn't know exactly how to guess it, so I just said, instead of the usual thing I said, can you tell me what needs of yours are not being met by school? He said, Mommy, it's all about the future. And she said, I could see so clearly. You know, why would anybody want to go where it's, you know, what grades am I going to get now to go to the next thing so I can get, you know, go to the next grade, and it's all about the future. You see. So what you have to do is put the giraffe ears on. Then when the person talks about what happened in the past, you don't hear it. You don't go into the past.